Here it is at last, the Ford Focus RS. We have been a passenger on track, and driven it on the continent and in the UK, and now it is at our test track ready for a thorough autocar workout. The new RS has been a long time coming. It's curious to think, given how much attention is given to it, that this hot hatch is only just on its third generation, despite the first one arriving back in 2002. Unlike some sports cars or hot hatches, there isn't a central driving theme to the Focus RS, no familiar DNA that will tell you the new Focus RS. If there is an underlying theme, it has taken a third car to realize it. After all, once could be a fluke, twice could be coincidence, but it takes three things to ascertain a trend. The MK1 RS was pulled off the standard Focus line for finishing, at great cost, where it received wider bodywork and a Trick-Wave limited slip differential of shocking brutality. The MK2 RS of 2009 was created to roll down the line like any other Focus. The trickery, again, was focused on getting its power to the road. Design and styling. Specialized engines, drivlines, suspension and steering setups, and certain structural reinforcements, are the standard fare of the modern hot hatch, and the new Focus RS has them all. But it also has something that sets it apart even from rivals costing tens of thousands of pounds more, a redesigned shell. So the steel running between the rear suspension turrets has been thickened, and if you could lift the boot carpet you'd see the lion's feet reinforcements that have been added. You won't find those on any other model on this platform. The other key component in the RS's makeup is the active rear differential, which isn't a differential at all but a gear set with a pair of independently controlled clutches deployed at key points. So while the front-mounted power takeoff unit can send up to 70% of torque to the rear at any time, the rear drive module can then send up to 100% of that torque to either of the rear wheels. Performance. Truth is, the RS's engine isn't one to keep you awake at night. It isn't the car's greatest asset and it doesn't possess the kind of firepower needed to take on Quattro GmbH and AMG on level terms. But it's got more than enough power, response and oral presence to hold its own. American performance brand Hennessy also has given the Focus RS a going-over, increasing the power by 60 bhp and peak twist by 101 pounds-foot, taking the overall RS figures to 405 bhp and 425 pounds-foot of torque. The parts can be shipped to the UK and will set owners back £2,258 for the privilege. For those who want the best aftermarket parts cherry-picked for the Focus RS, Eurocar Parts has created a kit costing £2,017 and consists of H&R springs, anti-roll bars and wheel spacers, a choice of K&N air filters and a choice of Scorpion and Miltech exhaust systems to help the Ford breathe better. Crucially, however, none of these parts are covered under Ford's warranty. Moving on, then. The RS's objective performance will have been affected somewhat by Ford's decision to stick with the 6-speed manual gearbox. One of the reasons why a Mercedes-AMG A45 will launch harder than this car is because its 7-speed dual-clutch auto allows it to be shorter geared in the lower speed ranges. Ford's alternative philosophy is to compromise off-the-line acceleration slightly but enhance your sense of involvement in the launch process through a perfectly weighted clutch pedal and a short, punchy manual gear lever. Ride and handling. Before we get a little lightheaded, it's worth stating what the RS isn't. In the field of usable, fast, indulgent hot hatchbacks, headed by the Volkswagen Golf R, it is an all-sedan. The weighty, camber-handled steering is a little too arduous at low speeds for the casual user, and its stiffened ride, while respectably compliant given the level of intent, is nevertheless too firm and percussive to be thought of as genuinely comfortable. The space it slots into somewhere in between, however, is terrific. Road-focused, immersive, ostensibly balmy and tremendously engaging. The Focus delivers a chassis dynamic cut from the same rear-drive biased cloth as the Nissan GT-R and Audi R8, yet it manages to be arguably more accessible and entertaining than either. High praise indeed, but the RS earns it repeatedly, sauntering into every constant radius turn with the transparent aim of moving progressively from being dependably front-driven to bullishly neutral to gratifyingly tail-happy. Ford's objective, both in marketing and chassis tuning, is clearly to convey the sensation of driving a Group B rally car, or at least how one imagines it might feel, having watched endless videos on YouTube. Using the leeway offered by tailored driving modes and a bubble of ESP-related safety, the RS comes brilliantly close to achieving this aim. Its secret is less in the all-wheel drive system than it is in the assertiveness of the rear axles to work split. The preemptive buildup of drive and the outside wheel propels the car into corners and then briefly beyond the limit of traction when you encourage it to do so. MPG and running costs. £31,000 is very reasonable for the sort of trick product Ford has delivered. When Audi re-engineered the 8-1 to take the S-badged car's driven rear axle, it raised the price of the car by a fifth. Here, the jump from top-spec Focus ST is far more reasonable, despite the RS being hugely more capable. The cars most buyers would cite as rivals, Mercedes-AMG A45, Audi RS3 at best, £10,000 more expensive, while the Volkswagen Golf R, which is the closest rival in many respects, starts at £31,125. Oh, find something that corners with the same ability, breathtaking confidence and mind-bending mechanical trickery. You have to look at a car like the Nissan GT-R. Ford, which specializes in democratizing hot hatch fun, take a Volvo Fiesta ST, has democratized specialness and uniqueness. It has created a hot hatch that you might buy just for weekend use, as you perhaps would a high-end sports or supercar, yet it's one that costs only £30,000 brand new.